What is up, NFL fans? It is your boy Kevin Phillip Fox here with the Legit Football NFL podcast. We ain't got no pillow talk today, baby. We right into the action. I got my boy Jimmy Ray from NFL Stats. Jimmy Ray, how the hell are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm ready to talk shop. Let's get it.
Talk shop. That's what I'm talking about. And I got my
Yeah,
boy
right.
Hunter Ball. What's good, Hunter?
What's up? What's up? I'm good. I'm good.
No pillow talk whatsoever. Ladies and
None.
gentlemen, I don't know if you guys felt that little chill in the air today. I sure as hell didn't. I live in LA. It's hot as hell. But I know somewhere in the world there was a little fall chill in the air. There was a little autumn breeze in the air. And the reports that finally came out that we've been waiting months for, that NFL training camp is underway for all 32 teams. My boys, when that news sets in, how does that make you feel in your nether region? Jimmy, I'll start with you.
I'm hyped, man. I've been counting down the days. I feel like we have about 8 days until preseason. I mean, this month, like 8 or so days, we have the Hall of Fame game. It's like a little warm up, and then you got to wait another like 10 days before the next games. But training camp is where it's at. To be honest, the games are just kind of a spotlight for training camp. But joint practices, we're gonna be seeing some fights and stuff. I'm excited for it, man. Obviously.
Yeah, and training camp, you got to use your logic goggles when training camp's happening, because every highlight looks sick. Every quarterback looks great in shorts, throwing the ball in slow motion, no pads. Seeing, Quentin Johnston going up and making a big catch, or, hearing about, just running back D for a team who's making guys miss. They're like, oh, he broke a long touchdown run. Okay, because you can't tackle him. What? Like, what are we talking about here? Honeyball, talk to us about training camp, man. How does training camp make you feel?
I'm excited. I'm excited. I love this part of the year. I love that they put the first Hall of Fame game in July, at the end of July. Just that way, it's like we're almost there. It just feels so much closer. So I'm totally with you guys. I was thinking about training camp earlier today and just kind of gauging kind of what is a worthwhile headline in training camp? Because like everybody remembers, especially the fantasy community, Jamar Chase, how awful of a preseason and how awful of a camp he
Forgot
had.
how to catch the ball.
Right. And then
Yep.
you had the greatest rookie receiver season we've seen in fantasy in a really long time. So I'm just wondering where you guys are at with like how much stock do you put into training camp news, especially kind of aligning with our newsletter here? Like, where do you kind of see that?
That's a great question, Honeyball. And I think for me, the training camp like crystal ball that I kind of try to use is I kind of try to think of it as like good news is objectively better than bad news, but I weigh bad news a lot heavier than good news. I don't really think if somebody looks great in camp, it really means anything until the pads come on, until preseason starts, and until they sign their name on that 53-man contract at the beginning of September. It's really hard to glean anything about a player until you have those barometers, until you have those boxes checked. Bad news is bad, but you do kind of have to weight it bad, like appropriately, like the Chase stuff. I mean, wasn't really a training camp issue, but Josh Allen didn't know how to hit the broadside of a barn for his first two NFL seasons. You kind of have to be a little bit like, I think you run into the risk of, if you just stick to your guns, you're just looking for confirmation bias. You're just looking for your priors to be confirmed. So I think there's a delicate dance with training camp. One thing that I'll share, like a nugget that's always percolated for me, and it's been passed along from podcast to podcast that I listen to. I'm very plugged into the NFL media all year round, not just this time of year. And one thing about training camp that is a little cheat code that I'm sure you guys already know, since you guys are both ball knowers, but there's this little thing you can do with training camp news where you pay close attention to who is making a play on who, and you can then dictate what team they're running with. So let's just say Josh Allen, let's just say you read a headline about a Bills rookie cornerback Maxwell Harrison. Let's say you read Bills rookie cornerback Maxwell Harrison picked off Josh Allen in 7-on-7s today. That's a little nugget that you can glean that Maxwell Harrison is running with the ones because he picked off Josh Allen. So that's a little tidbit. That's the kind of training camp news that I find more relevant, is who's running with who's operating under what guise of, are they a starter? Are they a backup? Are they going to be sprinkled in? that's the kind of stuff that I think training camp is a little bit better for than literal performance notes. I hope that answers your question. It wasn't.
Yeah. No, it was perfect.
I was about to say the same thing. So it's like you got to look at the black and white news of training camp. It's like this is the injury news. This is what's happening. You know, Joe Mixon's going on PUP. He's not able to, or the non-football injury list, whatever he got on today.
So you think subjectivity is no bueno?
I mean, I don't think we have the film. I don't think. I mean, I guess there's certain reporters and stuff you can look at and trust, but at the end of the day, you just have to look at like what you said, like who's running with who, and just kind of seeing how they play during the meaningful games.
Yeah, and Hunter, how about you, man? Is there any sort of a strategy or a hack that you use? What's that lens? What are those filters on your goggles look like for training camp when you take in training camp news or highlights?
Man, to be honest with you, I think that's why I was thinking about it so much, because I think sometimes it's better to just plead ignorance with training camp. I think sometimes it's so easy to overthink it. And because the Jamar Chase's rookie season, I wasn't plugged into the news. I didn't see what was going on at all. Had I had known that he was going to be dropping passes and having an awful camp, I would have traded him. I would have been thinking the whole season, how can I move this guy? And then it would have cost me a championship in that league. So I'm kind of towing the line, because you have guys that are supposed to be studs, off-season guys, especially in the fantasy world, like your Allen Robinsons from a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Like, everything sounds great.
Yes.
And then you get to the game, you get to the actual games that count, and he does awful. And then you get the opposite of the guys that had bad camps and are doing well. So, like, honestly, I kind of think it's best to not check up on it too much. Obviously, read the newsletter, keep up with things, but I think putting too much stock into it is a very dangerous slope to go down.
But the fantasy community, you have to do that, unfortunately. Like when you look at fantasy football, which like a great thing you mentioned, it's like they have to look off of that to see like the line changes, like who's playing well, and just hope for the best, I guess. I mean, you could go back to last season, but who's to say that's not wrong too? So
yeah, and that's kind of why, as anyone who listens to this podcast, and especially you two know, I'm such an ADP stickler. Like, I don't really care who is doing what or when or why or how. I care about what I have to pay for them on draft day. Like, as much as I'd love to say that I'm going to have X amount of shares of X amount of players, I'm not going to have any shares of James Cook if he gets steamed up to the 108, because I'm just not going to draft him there. Like ADP really kind of is the name of the game during fantasy draft season. And really training camp, if the start of training camp means fantasy draft season is just right around the corner. So, let's talk training camp wonders. Did you guys ever make a swing on a huge report from training camp that ended up either burning you or favoring you? For example, a couple years back, I was very in on the Isaiah Pacheco hype train. I bought low on Isaiah Pacheco just when there were some good headlines of he's, late round pick, like he's got a lot of juice, yada, yada. And admittedly, he's kind of in a dicey situation in his career now. But for the years that he was good for fantasy, I was very happy that I made that decision to buy low.
Yeah, one that comes to my mind immediately is Kyron last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago.
Last year. Yeah. So Kyron, I was very against not getting in on the Kyron train, but actually hedging him a little bit. I was
when they had him returning punts.
Exactly, I saw him returning punts. That was last year. And I saw that, and I was like, there it is. The guy I hated drafted Kyron, and I was like, tough luck, buddy. Like, he's going to do awful this year. And then Kyron was good. So it's just, I was so confident. I was like, man, this is going to be great. He's not going to do well. I didn't draft him at all. And certainly he proved me wrong. So that's definitely one that comes to my mind, burning me.
Yeah. I have every Colts wide receiver on my list. It's just just watching them ball. I don't know what it is about wide receivers making crazy catches in training camp, but I freaking love it. And when a Colts wide receiver is doing it, I'm like, man, he's fifth on the depth chart right now, but he could easily skyrocket. So I'm going to stash him on my bench in fantasy. I'm going to be watching him. I'm going to tail him for the next 3 games because he's probably going to get cut.
All of them, bro.
But it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah, and it's especially bad for Colts tight ends. Let's be real. I've told you before. Warren's the first one I'm excited about in the half decade.
Jelani Woods still has a chance too.
I heard Kylan Granson still had a chance, bro.
Yeah, Mo Alley Cox, good blocker, but can he catch?
I love Mo Alley Cox.
We'll find out after the break.
He's a guilty pleasure, man. I can't quit him.
Dude. I love it. Nyheim Hines. Sorry.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of training camp stuff. Fellas, I'm sure you know, and I'm sure I don't know if you saw the trailer, the Sizzler trailer, but we are extremely excited for Hard Knocks this year in Western New York. I don't know if you guys, if you haven't had a chance to see the trailer for Hard Knocks, it looks pretty sick.
Roll the tape.
Filmed in my hometown of Rochester, New York, at St. John Fisher College. The Buffalo Bills training camp is going to be the subject of national attention this year. And I think with players like Josh Allen and Keon Coleman, and again, let's just mute Joe in the comments. We're just gonna mute the comments here. We're not gonna read those. Players like Keon Coleman and Tre'Davious White, I think we're in for quite the treat of a lot of shining star personalities out of Rochester, New York this summer. Any thoughts on Hard Knocks this year, boys?
I've got some thoughts on Hard Knocks in general as a Giants fan. I mean, the two words kind of play a bunch of alarm bells in my head. I think Hard
PTSD.
Knocks, it contributed a big factor into why the Giants were so, I mean, obviously New York, big market, but it's tough to see Hard Knocks and see another team on there. Just remembering that the Giants easily, I think, up there with the Cleveland Browns with Baker, had the worst Hard Knocks run ever. Like, you want to talk about negative publicity, negative press. If I have to watch that video of Joe Shane being told that Saquon's signing with the Eagles, or John Mara, even worse, John Mara being like, if Saquon goes to the Eagles, I'm not sleeping at night. It's like, okay, John, sorry, I'm getting crazy here. Hard Knocks drives me crazy. Yeah, but good for the Bills. I'm sure they'll be great.
I like it better when it's not my team.
Yeah.
At least for the bat. I mean, we're not good, so we haven't even watched the in-season one for the Colts.
Oh no, you didn't even watch it? It's your team.
No, should I go back and watch it?
You should.
Was that with Lance? I don't even know at this point.
I gotta give love to. I do think it's gonna be really, really fun. I like the characters, but I do think it's gonna be boring as well because the Bills are kind of like a lunch pail organization. I think you're just going to see a lot of guys just working, and you're going to see a lot of guys saying the media trained crap that they're supposed to say. I don't think there's going to be too many flashy headlines. Cook holdout. Cook's already reported. He's ready to roll. Yeah, fellas, I'm just about at the tipping point. I'm just about ready to dive into the old discussion of win total over-unders. But in the meantime, I do have to answer this question because Joe finally posted a safe for work comment. Talk about the Bills receiver room. Who can make a push in training camp? I think, to me, all eyes are, if you're looking at push, you're picturing the depth chart and you're picturing somebody moving up, a mover or a shaker, you might say. I think it begins and ends with Elijah Moore. I think the depth chart is pretty solid. I think Khalil Shakir is going to be your slot receiver. I think Keon Coleman's going to be your X. And then I think really there's a lot of movement for that other receiver. I think Josh Palmer is the clubhouse favorite. If you follow the money, Josh Palmer was paid the most. Josh Palmer's posted a great separation score. I'm a huge Josh Palmer fan, but Elijah Moore has crazy traits, and he's had really just objectively abhorrent quarterback play in his career in the NFL. So I definitely could see Elijah Moore making a big push there. Maybe Laviska Shenault could maybe push for a return job. But I think other than those guys, any names that interest you guys at all?
You still have Curtis Samuel?
We do still have Curtis Samuel, actually.
That's a fun little look at you. Wide receiver 3. That's gonna be the Hard Knocks talk the whole time.
Yeah, it might be. That's a frisky little wide receiver room. I mean, it's bad.
Get cut. Someone's gonna get cut, and they're gonna show it.
Oh yeah, they definitely are. Hannibal, what are your thoughts on that?
I feel like you know a fair good chunk more than me on the whole Bills receiver room thing. But to be honest, I'm liking Khalil Shakir a lot. In a lot of mock drafts I'm doing, I'm finding really good value with Khalil Shakir. I think he's just a really tried and true safe option. But yeah, that's my micro
Owen is the wide receiver 44 right now.
Yeah,
crazy.
Kind of an unbelievable value for potentially Josh Allen's wide receiver 1. Coleman's,
in an offense like that.
Yeah, right. Coleman's right behind at wide receiver 51. If Coleman doesn't get hurt, he could turn some heads, man. I think he's a better player than the second half of the season, than the tape would suggest from the second half of the season. But, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the fellas have something urgent and pressing to talk to you about. We have AFC win total over under predictions featuring myself, NFL Stats Jimmy Ray, and Hannah Ball. And we're going to start with where, we might as well start where we're already talking. I'm very excited to talk about this team, but I'm not super excited to talk about this damn number that I'm seeing, if this is really right. The Bills win total over under with Las Vegas is currently 11.5. I guess I'll wrap it up. I'll let you guys maybe take the lead on it because I feel like I'm obviously going to be biased. But Jimmy Ray, why don't you take the lead? Talk to me about this 11.5 number for Buffalo's win total over under.
So I'm just going off the dome with a lot of this. Not looking at the schedule, I think that's
Let it rip.
Waste of time.
You're going vibes based.
It makes no sense. Yeah, the teams
Vibes
you play, they don't matter at all. No, I'm just kidding.
Totally.
No, I think I'm picking over here pretty easily, in my opinion. Not easily, just in terms of my betting. I'm not betting the under on the Bills. I mean, I think that's just how I see it. Like 11-10 wins. I don't know season by season how many wins they've gotten, but I easily see them being like a 12-13 win team. I mean, that division's, each team in that division's kind of all over the place. You can see the Dolphins, Jets. I mean, we could see all those teams making a run for it, but nowhere near what the Bills are capable of. So
yeah, Hannibal, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. I as much as I wanted to rip on the Bills, take this chance.
Get me back. Get return the favor for my Giants.
I wanted to, but I don't think 11.5 is that crazy. I mean, yes, 11.5 is just a generally high number, but I mean, you look at a team like the Bills in this division, and like Jimmy said, I think the Jets at their best, the Dolphins at their best, and the Patriots especially at their best still don't beat the Bills. So I think that alone is safe. I think the culture's there. Teams there. I think if there's any drama in Buffalo this year, it's about that stadium. So I don't think the team's gonna have many issues.
Yeah, and RIP that stadium. I was actually heavily contemplating grabbing the tickets to the last regular season game there, but I just don't know if that's as romantic as if they make the playoffs and host the playoff game. Then I'm not even going to the last game, and I'm paying for a flight across the country, and that would be cool. I'm sure the playoff tickets are going to be gaudy. If they host a playoff game, right? Getting a little ahead of myself. 11.5 is right at the perfect line. Like, I think Vegas really nailed this because I think if it was 10.5, it would be an easy over. And obviously 12.5, just based off math, would be an easy under. Not because I don't think they'll win 13 games, but because that's just an insanely difficult. And I almost brought this up because Joe knows the reality of it. I actually was baptized in a very crusty water fountain back when it was called Rich Stadium.
Thought that was a bit.
Oh no, it actually is a bit. But I've attended several.
There's video of it. Roll it.
I've attended several Bills games with Joey Crack, and you look at that. There's this one water fountain, just the crustiest, grossest one. You turn it on, and it shoots out Jack Daniel's whiskey. That's where I was actually baptized, unfortunately.
Where you got that mustache?
There it is. Yeah.
That's why I was an alcoholic. That's why I'm sober. But anyways. No, I think you got to take the over as a Bills fan. I think it's just kind of like it's the sweet spot. And I think maybe smart money at 11.5 might be under because 11-6, you're still probably winning that division and you're still probably hosting at least one playoff game. But you can't. I don't think betting against Josh Allen is just ever a good move, especially when it comes to regular season production. That's really more of an the playoff failures are really more of an indictment on Sean McDermott, but Sean McDermott's a regular season merchant, so you can count on 12 to 14 wins for the Bills and a pretty easy over here. I don't see them running into any issues with that. Miami Dolphins win total over under. This one's a little more compelling. I think this is going to be an interesting conversation. We're looking at the number 8.5 for the Miami Dolphins, and we started with Jimmy last time. So Hannibal, you already know what that means, man. Take it away.
Yeah, the Dolphins aren't really a team to get excited about this year. I don't know. I mean, sorry to Brian, but it's just kind of not a team that I really even want to have a strong take on. I mean, 8.5 is kind of not an exciting number. Tua's not an exciting quarterback. Mike McDaniel, we don't really know. And then Tyreek is a whole can of worms. What are we going to do with Jalen Waddle? And now Darren Waller showed up. So there's so many moving parts with this team. I think I'm just going to default, close my eyes, and go under. I think that's I could see this season going fine, and I could also see it being a disaster. So anything can happen. So yeah, I'm going to go under, but not very firm.
Yeah, I think Jimmy, take it away. What are your thoughts on Hannibal's take on the Dolphins?
My initial reaction's under as well. I just don't think there's anything I think their flashiness kind of died out last year. It's hard to be like, yeah, they're gonna come back. I mean, I guess it's not hard. You can. I wouldn't be surprised if someone's like, yeah, they're gonna get their flashiness back. But Tyreek Hill's getting older. I don't even know if he wants to be on the team. I don't know if they want him on the team. Jalen Waddle's definitely on the team. Devon Achane is kind of the star guy right now in terms of flashiness, in terms of production. But where's that going to get you? Their defense, not something to be very excited about. But Tua is kind of a safe quarterback, and I think that'll bite him a little bit. So I'll say 7 wins.
Would you guys? So you guys would both take the under still if it was 7.5? Because I'm actually seeing some discrepancies in the lines. I think I personally would as well. I'm not counting on Tua playing 17 games. I hope to God it's not head related, but I just don't foresee him playing 17 games. He hasn't really proven to be somebody who's capable of protecting themselves, which is really sad. And I know there's talks of you can't talk about people's personal choices, but like they put the guardian cap in for people who have concussion fears. I know it's his personal choice, but bro, that's what that's for. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's where I'm at. I know that's like kind of controversial. I'll say it. I'll stand on business. But I think it's 8.5 or honestly, or 7.5. I think I'm taking that under. They kind of scream 6 and 11, 7 and 10 to me.
Yeah, it'll be around that. I feel like.
So none of us would take the over even at 7.5.
I don't think so.
Nick. No. Okay. The next one, and this is another one. I'm going to confirm these because, guys, this got steamed up. So Anthony has it at 7.5, but the New England Patriots, as of right now, their Vegas win total over under is 8.5. And I will take the lead on this one because I've kind of been a champion of theirs over the last. I contemplated making it on my darling team last year. There have been talks. Adrian said he would disown me, kick me off the show if I picked an AFC East team as my offseason darling. Specifically the Patriots, who I just have an absolute sickening disdain for. But I absolutely have to. The hype train's out of control. The pendulum has swung too far. Everybody loves the scrappy underdog. Drake May, he's looking great. Yeah, he looked great last year. But he looks great in a sense of a terrible team can become a scrappy, maybe win more games than you think team before they become a good team. We're skipping a step here. We're losing recipes, people. You don't go from bad to good. That doesn't happen unless you're the Commanders or the Texans. One team will, but I'll decide who that is later. But right now, I'm here to tell you it's not the Patriots. 8.5 wins is crazy. We have lost our collective minds. Their wide receiver 1 is a 32-year-old wide receiver coming off of a torn ACL. I love Travion Henderson. He's a great player, but who's going to block for him? He had one of the worst offensive lines in football last year. The defense is okay. They're above average, but are they really going to be okay? I think the Vrabel thing is cool. I like Vrabel a lot. I think that's a big upgrade from Gerard Mayo. I think I have to go under, and it might be a close under. It might be a close shave. But I don't see this team having a winning record. I don't see it.
Do you hate the Patriots?
I do. I hate them, but this take has nothing to do with them. I was their champion just 2 weeks ago. Hannibal, what are your thoughts, man? Am I popping off? Am I wrong?
No, I mean, I disagree. I do disagree. But I also can see what you're saying about the hype train. It's gotten a little crazy, no doubt. It's for sure left the station. I did a video on Drake May like a month and a half ago, specifically studying him. And I think the best way to put him is you ever go on TikTok and you kind of see like clips of a show. And you're like, oh, this looks like a good show or like a movie. And then you kind of watch the movie through the clips. That's kind of how people look at Drake May.
Yes, exactly.
He has these highlight throws, and they're great throws. That throw against the Titans to get the game to overtime, or not overtime, but to a conversion. That was great. That was awesome. We all loved it. But if you watch the whole game, there's not a lot of that. So it's like In Time. You know that movie with Justin Timberlake? It's like,
Oh yeah, cool
it's on
concept.
yeah, cool concept. I saw it on TikTok. I'm like, this looks like a great movie. And then I went online to look at the reviews, and it got like a 12 on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, it got no love. And I'm like, well, I guess the proof is in the pudding there. So all that to say, I think 7.5 is still a little low, or 8.5. I like the Patriots to win 9 games this year, only because I think that schedule is an absolute cakewalk. I think the way their schedule is kind of worked out, it's to where they'll get some junk wins. Will they contend in the postseason? Probably not. They'll probably be like that 6 or 7 seed that people are like, let's just get them out of here and get the real teams involved. Kind of like the Steelers of last year. But I like that number. So my mind's telling me, like, no, go against the grain here. Don't go with the hype. But 7.5 or 8.5, if you can find a book that gets it at 7.5, I would take the over confidently. Even 8.5, but 7.5 would be great.
All right, Jimmy Ray, break the tie, man.
Fine, guys. I'll break the tie. I'll be the deciding factor here. We finally get to disagree on something, and I get to be in the middle. Before the offseason, I feel like this is like kind of a good offseason. I think this is kind of what everybody expected them to do in terms of being like making the right moves. We have Mike Vrabel coming in as coach, Will Campbell being drafted. You got Travion Henderson coming in. The wide receiver room is still up in the air, but they got a really good wide receiver, even though I think Kevin Phillip Fox is still a little hateful on him. But what? Am I wrong?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan of pink rocks on a boat. That ain't my guy.
Yeah, but just going off the dome here, I'm going to go under just in terms of just the probability. I think there's definitely a probable scenario where they hit like 10 wins, make a wild card round. Drake May's balling out.
Yeah,
but I'm going to go under. I think they're still potentially 1 year off from doing that, but I'm excited for it. I think they'll give them a couple more years.
Taking the over at 8.5 feels like you're paying average price for their ceiling. Like, I feel like you take that if it's an alt line, but that's what the floating line is. Like, that's what Vegas thinks the Patriots are going to win. Like, that's their middle line. And Honeyball, definitely. I think 7.5, and there's a conversation. But even then, I mean,
so we talk about ADP. It's like you have
exactly
like is this the price we want to take him at? Not quite. It
has to be a measured approach.
I'll sell high here.
So we got two unders and an over. That's okay. First disagreement of the day. We needed it.
No, it's not.
We'll live with it.
We need to convince them to change as much.
Next up, and I believe Jimmy Ray, you're going to take the lead on this one, but we have the New York Football Jets, new head coach, new quarterback.
Yeah.
5.5.
Give me the over.
Give me the
over.
Talk about it, Jimmy. Justin
Fields is going to run through. I mean, Marshawn Lynch said it the best. You run through some people's faces. But I think Justin Fields will be all right. I think 5.5 is very low, so I think it might be easy to say the over, but I really think they can be rejuvenated. I think they have a lot of pieces on that team. Quinnen Williams. I mean, we have Sauce Gardner who's balling out. Everybody's getting paid a little bit too, so maybe that'll make them better. Maybe that'll make them worse. There's an argument for both ways. It's a narrative-driven league, so whatever happens, they'll use that to decide what actually happened. But I like this team. I like them to kind of take a small leap. I don't think it'll be anything crazy in terms of like long-term. It'll be hard to say like Justin Fields is a long-term answer, but I think after what they saw last year with Aaron Rodgers, who's box score-wise good, but statue in the pocket, I think it'll be a good change for the Jets and for their fans, honestly.
Yeah, and I got to jump in there, and I got to completely resoundingly agree with you, bro.
Wow.
I think Fields was not a failure in Chicago. I think Fields was failed in Chicago. I think organizationally, systematically, we saw what it looks like when a regime doesn't buy into their quarterback. And it was tough to watch, man. And Fields has the traits. You all know I'm a traits guy. You can't teach traits. It's just a fact. Fields has great vision. He's great running the football. Can he start putting it together as a passer? That's kind of another conversation. But if he's going to with one of the best young wide receivers in the league, Garrett Wilson, an ascending young tight end, rookie Mason Taylor, great pass catching running back Breece Hall, good stable of running backs really over there. Good couple change pace guys. The question is that they don't really have much wide receiver depth. That's probably the team's Achilles heel right now. So it'll be interesting to see if they can kind of right the ship there. But I definitely think with Aaron Glenn in tow, the defense will be better. So I'm going to double down with you, Jimmy Ray, and give you a resounding over on 5.5. Feels a little low. Honeyball, round us out here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I don't feel too strong about this one, so I think the Jets are gonna finish around 5-6 wins. I think this is a perfect over under line. Yeah, complete coin flip. Because I mean, I believe in Justin Fields. I don't think anybody on earth really has resounding feelings against Justin Fields. It seems like everyone who watches football at least appreciates what he is, what he tries to be, especially in the fantasy community. And I think they have a lot of talent, but 5.5 is 5.5. They're the New York Jets. And Aaron Glenn, first-time head coach, it's tough for me to like pound the table and like this team is going to win 6 games, especially as I look at the other board. And you can kind of convince yourself in July and August that every team's going to be good.
It's true.
And I just kind of feel like the Jets are one of those teams where I just can't find that excitement. So I can see Joe in here saying that the Jets will outwin the Pats. I can confidently say that won't happen. Like I'll put my name on it. I'll put the Honeyball name on it.
He's stamping that one. He'll proclaim that.
Confidently don't think that's going to happen.
I think it's a closer conversation than people think, but it sounds like, are you leaning under Honeyball?
I'm leaning under for sure with the Jets.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to figure out what to do with Braylon Allen in fantasy. I think that's my big question mark with the Jets.
They got guys, man. Like they got some guys. He had some good flashes last year. He didn't put it together consistently enough across the stretch. Jimmy, what's the face for?
I'm just trying to think of what to do with Braylon Allen as well.
Okay, you're like.
If I have Breece Hall, I'm keeping him.
Yeah, right.
I have Breece Hall, I'm keeping him.
Doesn't hurt to have a little hedge there. Let's move on to the AFC West. We're gonna start with the Kansas City Chiefs. Win total over under, and if Black Magic is allowed, their line is an easy over, but it's 11.5. I believe, is it Honeyball? You're kicking us off with this one, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Let it rip.
Yeah, I'll let it rip. I think the Chiefs are a team that everyone loves to hate on the Chiefs, right? Everyone loves to rip on them and kind of assume the worst. I'm not like that, to be honest. I watched a lot of Chiefs games last year. Yeah, Kev. Yeah, it makes sense.
I respect.
Well, you have a reason.
Right. It's personal.
Yeah.
You have reason. People just blindly hate the Chiefs because there's a fatigue. There's a fatigue with the Chiefs.
Definitely.
And I feel like 11.5 for a team that's been textbook so great is like, I don't want to say it's low, but it's definitely a little conservative. So just based off that, just based off good quarterback play, just based off good coaching, and there's so much variability in the AFC West, I'm gonna go over. I think.
It's gotta be close, right?
Yeah,
it's another one.
Very close. I think I'm gonna go over. I might change my mind by the end of the segment, but
I respect it.
We'll go over.
And you got at least a minute, but I'm just gonna jump in really quick and just say straight up, like, I think if the Chiefs were in the same old AFC West, I would probably easily take the over as well. But I'm very confident that the Chargers, the Broncos, and even the Raiders all pose a formidable threat to the point where I'm not sure it's going to be a 6-0 sweep. I honestly, I'd be surprised if they won 5 of those games. I think realistically, the Chiefs will probably split with Denver and LA. And I think it's possible that Vegas gets them once, but I think it's more likely that they go 4-2. And so therefore, I think that makes it a little harder. They have a guaranteed loss in Orchard Park in November. That's just, the rules. Bills beat them in the regular season. Chiefs beat us in the playoffs. That's kind of just the way it's gone for, I believe, literally 3 or 4 straight years. Vomit. So pretty, not confidently, like you said, Honeyball, this is a great line. I'm going to go under just because I think 11-6, 10-7. I think this might be the first little skid mark on Mahomes' resume as a regular season quarterback this year. Not to say I'll have a bad season, but I'm definitely not touching him in fantasy. And you recall Honeyball, I was out on the Rashee Rice hype train prior to the suspension.
Right. Now it's a little tougher.
And I feel a little vindicated, but that's okay. That's there's going to be fantasy W's and L's left and right. I'll scream my W's from the rooftop though. Jimmy, take it away, man. Break the tie. Me and Honeyball, we're kind of teeing you up, Jimmy. You're the split vote.
I'm fine with that. I think the Chiefs find ways to win regardless.
They sure do.
Until they don't do that, I'm not going to bet the under on the Chiefs.
King of the Hill rules.
Any point in doing that? I mean, the Patriots found ways to win way back when. The Chiefs find ways to win. I mean, their offense was explosive. Now their defense is kind of the star of the show. They went like 7 or 8-0, I think, in like 1-score games last year. I don't know if that'll happen, but once again, I'd rather lose taking the over here. So I'll go with the over.
Yeah, go down
And I'll still root
swinging.
against them a little bit. Yeah. So
Yeah. So there's actually 2 9.5 win projected teams in this division. So it's a toss. It's a flip a coin to decide who we talk about next. I think I'm gonna say because the Chargers were a higher seed last year, we'll talk about them next. But the Chargers are projecting 9.5 wins, and I believe this is my team to talk about first. And I think I was formerly much maligned for not having Herbert as a top 5 quarterback. That was kind of a controversial take that I had in my past. I feel like the waters have settled on that take. I feel like I can just say that with my chest now, and I'm not the subject of cancellation. People don't think I'm doing it for attention. I think the world has caught up, and I'm not Emmanuel Acho. He's not a social media quarterback. He's not Mr. Hypothetical like they say he is, or him and Burrow. They always say he is. They say that about him on Twitter. He's just got some limitations in terms of his big game performances and how much of it he can shoulder himself, but he doesn't have to shoulder it himself. They have Omarion Hampton. They have Ladd McConkey. I think this team is going to surprise people this year in a positive way, and I think I'm going to take the over on 9.5 wins for the LA Chargers this year. Hunneball, let's agree. What do you got for me?
You're taking the over?
I'm taking the over.
I think I'm going to go with the under. Now this just kind of ties in.
Oh Lord, what is
It's
that?
a gimmick.
It ties into what we'll talk about the next team, because I don't think you can be a Chargers believer and a Broncos believer at the same time with these lines.
Okay,
and I will say
that, but they both made the playoffs last year.
Yes, but
right?
I don't think they're both going to go this year. Look, I'm just not a Chargers guy, and I think that's just part of living in SoCal and not being a Chargers fan. You just kind of hear the noise of all 10 fans they have. Yeah, exactly.
Depends how bad you think the Raiders are going to be, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
I guess the Raiders are a factor. But I think with the Chargers, 9.5, it's not a bad line. They won, I think it was 10 games last year. Was it 10 or 11?
11. Chargers 11, Broncos 10.
11. So
that's
it's like
unbelievable.
An 11-win
Raiders
team
4.
that didn't really lose a lot of contributing players, going down to 9.5 with an easy schedule. I think I'm just going with the bid here. It does make sense to go over, but I think I'm just going to go with the under just because I'm a Broncos believer. But I'm going to go with the under on that sole reason alone. Also, I think Justin Herbert's overrated, just so the people know where I stand on the matter. But,
and Hunneball, we finally agree, man.
Yes, we agree on that.
I like him. He's got a cannon. He's fun to watch. He kind of, he comes up small in the big moments, I'll say.
Right. Was that 4 interceptions against Houston, if I remember right?
Yuck.
4?
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh.
That's
yeah. The Jacksonville comeback game in the playoffs 2 years ago. Disgusting.
Goodness.
All right. Hamburglar. Break the tie. That's what you do.
Okay. I'm a Jim Harbaugh guy. I think you can be Justin Herbert's overrated and still like this team just because of how Jim Harbaugh plays football. I think we can all agree on that. Omarion Hampton, I've drafted him in so many leagues. He has to do something.
Yeah.
He has to.
Yeah.
I'll go over. That's not to say I'm not a Broncos believer, but I might have to go that route you're talking about. I think it's hard to pick both the overs, but they hit the overs last year, so.
Yep, I like it.
But
I like it. All right, who is going to kick us off on the Denver discussion? Jimmy, is that you?
Do you want me to?
Yeah, kick us off on the Denver discussion. We'll try to lock in this.
It's
try to lock in this round table. 9.5.
9.5 still. I mean, I guess I'll go under just for Hunter's bit. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the bid, right?
But now you're setting the tone now, so I might be.
I know,
but
like I can't really talk bad about the Broncos. I mean, what am I going to say? Like their running back depth, I mean, Bosif Nick's.
I like Dobbins. Dobbins is cool. He'll be a good change.
Dobbins is cool. Yeah, he's good. His ADP's good. I don't know what I think they have him as the starter. I don't know.
We all know
that's
he's not
a fun training camp. No?
Yeah, that will be fun. No, it's gonna be fun. Harvey,
fun.
well, he might start like how spiritually players quote unquote start, but like years before Javonte took over, Mark Ingram started. It might be like that sort of a thing.
True. That was a good throwback. Good times.
But wait, was it? No, it wasn't Mark Ingram. It was Melvin Gordon. Okay, see. I got you. I
honestly thought you said Melvin Gordon in my head. So
I think I said Mark Ingram. Okay, so you're gonna take the over, right?
No. Try again.
Under.
Yeah, I have to go with the bit.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Pick
Right.
the Chargers
Right.
over. I can't
All
pick
right.
both overs. I don't think that's allowed here.
Honeyball. What do you got, man?
I may have buried myself with this bid because I'm still like
You're-
ringing. Are the Chargers good? Like,
You're
are the
reversing
Chargers,
it. You're
are the
you're
Chargers
like
gonna be good?
Hunter, we're both in the same atmosphere, just from different
like-
sides.
Yeah,
yeah,
you guys are
exactly.
you guys are being chaotic. I love it.
I'm just sitting here trying to figure it out, but I do like the Broncos a lot. I think the Broncos are a fun team. They might be my darling team, but I don't feel too strong about them. They're just a team you want to root for. Bo Nix can definitely take that second year step.
Yep.
You got receivers that are building out. We talk about Cortland Sutton, how underrated he is. I think the running back room is something I like a lot, especially in fantasy, getting RJ Harvey and then stealing J.K. Dobbins at the back end and just kind of playing that backfield out. And the defense will be good. So I think just because I like the Broncos more than the Chargers, I'm going to go over.
Yeah, and I'm gonna prove the theory that you can't be a fan of both wrong, and I'm gonna stand here and say that I think
love
this is
that.
gonna
I
be
love
a good division. They had 3 playoff teams last year. I don't see any reason why they don't have 3 playoff teams this year. I still don't see Denver winning a playoff game, but I think they get there. I think they're a frisky little team. Honeyball, they're actually too good. They don't qualify for the Darling because the team can't have made the playoffs the year prior.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Okay.
admittedly,
learning the rules.
They made the playoffs kind of as like a Make-A-Wish kid. Like, they kind of got their doors blown off by Josh and the Bills. That was kind of a exhale in, before the game's over kind of game. That was kind of they were a fun story.
Well, teams fear Buffalo in the postseason. That's for sure. So.
I mean, up until the division or up until the AFC Championship. Was that sarcasm?
Yes.
Oh wow!
Nice.
The only team that has no right to fear us is Kansas City. Every other team, I mean, we'll cakewalk to Arrowhead, and then we'll shrivel up. I'm gonna take the over. And Honeyball, you're gonna kick us off on actually a team that I think is a lot more fun and interesting than a lot of people think. The Geno Smith, Pete Carroll led Vegas Raiders at 6.5. Honeyball.
Yeah, 6.5 it's a lot for the Raiders. It's a lot. It doesn't sound like a lot. It's worse in the division, but it's a tough division. It's tough sledding. I think they're going to be a really fun team to watch, a really fun team to draft, but I don't think they're going to be a fun team to bet. I'm not betting the over. I'm not touching that with the Las Vegas Raiders. There's too much uncertainty, too much change. Pete Carroll is such a wild card at head coach. I have no idea what's going to happen there. I'm just going to price with uncertainty on this one and go under.
I love it.
I'm gonna go under as well.
Yes.
Fun team, more fun than last year, but not fun enough. Put that on a quick one.
Yeah. There we go.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but Geno Smith, the absolute quote machine, said, I did not go to Vegas to roll the dice. I went to Vegas to run the tables.
I didn't know if that was a fake quote or not. Honestly.
I didn't either, but I love it. If it's real, it's
real.
Dude, he's honestly, I hate to say this because it sounds very NBA Twitter of me, but like he's kind of a quote merchant. He's kind of an aura farmer, if you will.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
But I don't really care. Like I don't really care. He's got so much aura. Like I respect it, man. And you know what? Right now I'm gonna say under, but if you guys hear me talk about them in a couple weeks, like they're my darling team, just look the other way. Yeah, just look the other way. Pretend this
there we go.
This is between us 3 and the 508 people in the chat. Yep. Our secret.
Don't tell Adrian.
Don't tell Adrian. So yeah, that's the AFC West wrapped up. I feel like that's a pretty fun conversation, and we're gonna take it to the AFC North. And we're going to talk about the Cincinnati Bengals, whose win total over under with Vegas currently is 9.5. This is a tough one. This is an extremely tough one. It's so tough that I'm not going to take the lead on it because I don't want to sound dumb. So Jimmy, I'm passing, bro. I'm Uno reversing, bro. Take it away.
9.5.
Yes.
And they did do anything to the defense, right? And Trey Hendrickson probably won't play.
It seems as though the defense somehow, if possible, got worse.
Is this Hendrickson or no Hendrickson?
No Hendrickson and no Shamar Stewart.
Thus far.
Well, thus far, yes. At the moment.
Thus far, okay. Man, I'll go under. I don't feel good about that, honestly, at all. I like their offense, but I don't think they did enough to make me feel comfortable thinking they're going to go on a tear like they did at the end of last year for this year. I think the division's tough. The Browns suck. I mean, Sorry,
They're jokesters, man. That's not a serious franchise. They haven't been.
Don't spoil your pick.
Imagine I picked the over.
Unless their win total is like
Somebody's picking over
literally
later.
3.5. I don't see how you could possibly take any over for Cleveland.
So yeah, I'll go under just because of I feel like they're the same team as last year, and it's a tough division. So
yeah, Honeyball, what do you got for me?
Yeah, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I think Cincinnati's burning down right now. I think this is going to be a really, really fun team to watch, just kind of implode a little bit. They're easy to rip on, just from an organizational, institutional standpoint. I mean, Paul Brown, or is it Mike Brown? I think it's Paul Brown. Whichever their current owner is in the Brown lineage, it's just all these rules.
Mike Brown's the Knicks head coach.
Yeah,
yeah,
Mike Brown, yeah, Mike Brown. One of the Browns, yeah. But basically, there's so much going on there. Like you said, their defense got somehow worse. And even though they drafted a pass rusher in the first round, the Bengals are all over the place. I couldn't consciously bet over on this team. I will be watching, but I will not be betting over. No.
Yeah.
I will draft all the offensive players.
Exactly.
Every single one.
I hate to do it. I hate to like what I said to one of my best friends is a Bengals fan. He's an awesome dude. I told him and he got really mad at me about this, but I think the Bengals are a poverty franchise who lucked into a franchise quarterback.
Yes.
That's my read on the Cincinnati Bengals.
And a wide receiver,
I think the way that they're running the team is just showing every turn what a poverty franchise would do. I love T. Higgins. I think he's the best wide receiver 2 in the NFL, but you do not pay him that when you have to pay Chase, when you have to pay Jamar, or when you have to pay Burrow. It's like, bro, the self-sabotage that is happening across the board with that team it's abhorrent. It hurts my eyes. I Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase alone to me make it I have to take the over. Buffalo versus Cincinnati. We haven't been able to beat them. I don't care how bad their defense is. Burrow and Chase, they're gonna go back. They're gonna go out there. They're gonna get theirs. And I think it's gonna be ugly. And I think it might be 10-7 in a wild card kind of situation. But I have to repeatedly stamp the flag of belief in that team just because Burrow's that good. He's the third best quarterback in the NFL, maybe the fourth.
He's the fourth best quarterback. It's not like a bet anybody really wants to make. I feel
I wouldn't. Nobody
wants to touch this.
I wouldn't bet. I wouldn't bet it either way. It's kind of
so volatile.
It's kind of a gun to your head type pick.
Yeah. The Bengals are tough. The Bengals are really tough. One of the big what ifs in my head that's been going on a lot has been what if Aaron Donald doesn't get through the line and Joe Burrow makes that pass to Jamar Chase? Like if this team had a Super Bowl, like it would change everything. It would be like, we got it, we did it, we're good for the next 50 years. Yep. But they didn't win, and now they're kind of scrambling, trying to claw back to that improbable run. And it's just the Cinderella, like the magic just ran out. And it was a great season, but the Bengals have still been trying to recapture that genie, and it's just not working. Yep.
I really don't know if Trey Hendrickson would play this year. I don't think he will.
He will. Look like something's going to happen. He's either going to get traded or he's going to sign. We'll see. I got to keep it moving, and I realized I skipped a team, and I get to talk about this team, and I'm happy I get to talk about this team because this, like, contrary to popular belief, I actually love this team. They have become rivals of the Bills, but the Baltimore Ravens are tied with Buffalo and Kansas City for the highest win total over under, and Philadelphia in the NFL at 11.5. Led by two-time MVP, but not last year, Lamar Jackson. What are the MV3? I absolutely love that team. I love Derrick Henry. Zay Flowers is good. They got good weapons. Bateman's underrated. Mark Andrews hopefully can shake off the demons of the AFC divisional playoff round where he kind of cost them the game at times against Buffalo. I think that team was already probably the best roster in the NFL, and I think they got markedly, measurably better. So that's kind of the boogeyman in the closet for me. Let's be real. The Chiefs are the boogeyman in the closet, but the Ravens are like, if the Chiefs are the boogeyman, then the Ravens are like Michael Myers.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like they're like you can't kill them. You can't bury them. Like they're so effective, and their fastball is faster than anybody else's fastball in the NFL. They get up on you. They force feed the ball to Derrick Henry. and they boa constrictor choke you with their incredible defense. I think
around in my head.
11-5. 11.5 is a perfect number once again, and I'm gonna go with the over, and I think they have as good a chance as any other team. I really think them, Buffalo, Kansas City are really the big three in the AFC. Of one of those teams, you can pretty comfortably say is going to be representing the AFC in the dance this year. I think. I'll pass it to you, best.
Yeah, I'm going to go over as well. Yeah, we could sweet talk them all day if we want. I mean, Lamar's a baller. Kyle
they have
Hamilton,
so much to like.
Notre Dame legend, you know. But
I love Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, I don't think there's much to talk about for the Ravens. I think we all know what they're capable of.
Yep.
Unless he says under.
Don't do it. I've got something to say. Now, I'm going to start this by just saying I'm going to go under. Okay. Now, there's a major caveat to that. I am a huge Ravens believer. Good friend of mine's a Ravens fan. He always talks to me about like the real depth of that team. And the Ravens have always been a team that when the Giants are eliminated, which is usually in like October, I'll root for the Ravens for the rest of the season. The thing with the Ravens is their schedule, like many teams, as I'm finding through this over-under start, their schedule starts tough. They start the year in Buffalo. Then they got the Browns, which should be a win. Lions, Chiefs on the road, Texans, Rams. I could see a world, and this is kind of going to be my big take as I kind of realized as I was studying up for this podcast. I think the Ravens are going to start real bad, 1-3, 2-4 kind of level, and then figure it out at the end of the season and make a big run, and will be my Super Bowl contenders, my Super Bowl prediction. I don't think they're going to win the division, which we'll get to in a second, but I do think they're going to make a big Super Bowl push. They're just going to come out the gates really weak. So I would take the under just because of that. I do believe in the Ravens, though.
Do you?
Honeyball and I are going for we're going for actual legit football history where we may disagree on every single pick here, which I kind of love. It's kind of nice. We kind of have like a little, we're kind of on opposite sides of a lot of takes. It's very fun.
Let's do it. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's an easy over. No offense. Last but not least, no, there's two more teams to talk about. We do have to unfortunately talk about Cleveland. It's in our contract. But Pittsburgh 8.5. Death taxes and Mike Tomlin having winning seasons. Honeyball, what do you got for us about Pittsburgh? It sounds like you're in.
Going in.
Wow.
I have officially talked myself into the Aaron Rodgers Steelers. I shouldn't, especially thinking that they'll win the division over the Ravens. That's a crazy hot take. I might deny it in a month, but as it stands right now, I just think just because the Ravens are going to start slower, the Steelers have the exact opposite. Their schedule is pretty forgiving in the beginning. And I think that they'll chain together enough wins and they'll just have enough to be like, okay, this Aaron Rodgers thing kind of works. We can rally behind this. I don't think they're going to do anything in the postseason, but I think the over is easy here.
Jimmy, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm on the over as well. I had a lunch bet. My roommate's a Ravenson as well. So in terms of like who I'm cheering for when the Colts lose in October, I also picked the Ravens. But
Gordy,
I have a lunch bet with him. He hates the Steelers, obviously. So I had to take advantage of that. I do feel like they've gotten better, and they always win around this amount. So it's hard for me to say like, hey, they're going to get worse when I feel like they've gotten better. So I have to go over here. I feel like same situation as Hunter said, make the playoffs, maybe. But, I mean, they're going to have over 8 wins, no doubt. And if Kevin picks differently, then he's wrong.
I have to.
No, you don't.
We've made it this far on the opposite side of the fence. I feel like we have to continue. I don't think Aaron Rodgers has anything left in the tank. I think he had. I don't think he has had anything left in the tank. I think it does. Okay, I think it actually does quite a bit. Honestly, I mean, he's still the quarterback, right? Like he's still. You got to hit your marks. You got to hit your rhythm completions. You got to hit your this, that, and the third. I think I like Caleb Johnson a lot. I think that's probably the brightest light that they have on offense. DK should be okay. I think Aaron can get DK going a little bit, but who's their wide receiver too? Do you guys even know?
Roman Wilson.
Easy.
Roman Wilson only played one game.
So we like those fools. Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's fair.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I did not say that.
I've never been I mean, do I bet they're over because it's like 13 yards? Yeah, of course. I'm going to bet they're over every week because all they have to do is catch one pass, but they're not very good. I like Jonnu. I think Jonnu is interesting, but I think from a fantasy perspective, I think him and Freiermuth kind of just cancel each other out. I think it's kind of a very unfortunate fantasy situation. The Pittsburgh tight end has kind of become an icky, like, no-fly zone for me. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the under, and admittedly, I'm kind of breaking tradition here, releasing my inhibition and feeling the rain on my skin. I have to. Thank you. I got to go with the under.
I lead on the defense, but I make my pick, by the way.
Hell will freeze over eventually, and I think I'm kind of banking on that. So,
TJ Watt.
Last but not least,
Yeah,
I have to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page to get to Cleveland, and their win total is historically low, 4.5.
Oh my
and
God.
I still think it's too low, or I still think it's too high. I'm taking the under, and I don't really want to talk about it. They have no quarterback. Judkins is probably not going to play for a while. I like Judy just fine. That's about it. I like Njoku just fine. Myles Garrett's a good player. The rest of their roster is a dumpster fire, train wreck, piece of poop.
Should I go over here?
I don't disagree with you, Kev. I don't disagree with you. It's like,
for once,
like I said earlier, it's you can talk yourself into any of these teams, especially as fantasy people. It's like, oh, they have this exciting player. Well, the Browns' exciting player is probably going to get suspended. So, like you said, Judkins, it's like, what is there to be excited about with this team? And it's like, I don't think anyone's rooting for them. I mean, it's besides Browns fans, what's left of them. It just feels like this offseason has just been a disaster compounded on a disaster that's been going on for 50 years. So don't bet on the Browns. Who's betting the Browns over under? Like, let's be honest here. Like, come on.
That's degeneracy. That's true degeneracy.
Yeah.
And
I just wanted to say, Joe called me a, what was it, Yinzer? Had to look that up. I appreciate that. That's a blue collar Pittsburgh resident. You know, that's me.
You're a Pittsburgh resident? There you go.
Yinzer is a hilarious term to describe a person from a city. It makes no sense.
Bring it.
It doesn't sound like Pittsburgh. You're a burger, bro.
Yeah.
All right. We're starting out. We're heading over to probably the worst division in the conference. Apologies to Jimmy Ray.
Well, Jimmy, you doing the over under on the Browns?
Oh yeah, what do you?
No, Kevin's skipping me, so I was
So we gotta hear that.
I didn't want to. I'm going under.
I would like to spend as little time possible talking about the Browns.
Curse
to
on
be quite
Cleveland.
honest. I apologize.
Shame on them.
Well, Jimmy, I'll make it up to you, man. We'll go out of order for the next one, and we'll go over to Indianapolis to talk about Jimmy's 7.5 projected win. Colts. Jimmy, tell us why the Colts are obviously going to win more than 7.5 games.
I mean, they got the Bengals defensive coordinator,
Lou Anarumo. I love him. I actually love Lou Anarumo.
I think we have star power on a defense. So if you're talking shop here and you were talking Colts actually winning, I think you have to kind of look at the defensive side. I think we got Travarius Ward here.
Yes.
We bulked up our secondary. So that's obviously something that was definitely needed, but our linebackers, there's some competition there. We got Zaire Franklin, but other than that, our guys left. Defensive line, that's all right. DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart, ballers, obviously.
Yeah,
offensive line, they all went to the Minnesota Vikings, so that was fun. Not exactly upset about it, but it is what it is. But it all comes down to the quarterback play. We all know that.
Definitely.
Is this team capable of winning 10 games? The answer is no. Are they capable of winning 8 or 9 games? Maybe. Are they capable of winning 3 or 4 games? Absolutely.
I agree with you. I think so far.
I think I've said almost every win so far.
Yeah.
No, I have no idea what the quarterback competition will end up being. I think both quarterbacks could easily play at least 5 games each. And I don't think it'll be good football, but I think there will be some good. I think that's always the case. I don't think their schedule's crazy. I'm sure Hunter's looked at the schedule as well, because I think he was the only guy to do that before this. Yeah. It's not crazy. And I think my expectation here, I would love for the Colts to say that I don't want the Colts to win, but I do obviously want them to win. I think they're going to end up winning like 8 games again.
So you would
I don't
kind of lean
under. I would bet over. Isn't it 7.5? Did you say?
Oh, was it 7.5? Yeah. Wait, let me double check. 7.5. Yeah. So you would take the over. A very close over.
I'll take the over just because I don't think they'll do what I want and actually like not win a ton of games. They'll like win a decent amount of games and be in the same situation.
Yeah.
But the quarterback situation, it's the same as it's been. It's rare. We win like 4 games every couple years, so this could be the year, but we always stay in the middle. So I think it's easy to go one way or the other.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna lean under as well, only due to the volatility, or not as well. Instead, only due to the volatility of the quarterback position. If Richardson takes a step forward and starts all season, I think that's a good sign. And I think that means that they're probably doing well enough to probably hit the over. But it is very difficult to put your faith in Richardson after everything that we've seen. I think there's a little bit of a swell, a little bit of a drumbeat now that he's showing up to training camp. He's healthy enough to play. I kind of think there's a little bit of a possibility that we could see the Richardson turn the corner. So I'm not going to rule that out. But if it goes how I think it's going to go, which is if you have
he left. He left. I think what he was gonna say.
It sounds like firm under.
Yeah, he's talking under. He doesn't like the quarterback.
He's a Colts hater. He's not a believer.
Listen, I can go that route if I need to as well.
That's what I mean. So, while Kev loads in here, I'll just kind of fill in my take a little bit. And like, it's tough to feel strong about the Colts. I think Jimmy, I think you can understand that. It's tough to really feel something for this team as a third party. And I'll say, like, you don't seem very thrilled about him. Like, you don't seem very excited to watch this team. And, 7.5 isn't a crazy line. It's not anything out of the ordinary. It's definitely not impossible. But as a Giants fan, as someone who definitely lets my home bias kind of bleed into this, I just can't believe in DJ. I just can't. It seems like Indy's working for him. It seems like it's a better setting. He's like going to the bars, doing square dancing, the whole thing. Kev's back. He's doing the whole square dancing thing, having fun. But I just can't, with my heart, believe in Daniel Jones. I'm going under. Kev, what were you going to finish with?
If DJ is starting, I don't think we're winning. I don't think that means we're winning. I think I think it'd be crazy to start him at the beginning of the season just because of the potential of AR. I think you have to give him another shot to start the year. I mean, I went to the Colts Jets game last year. AR balled out. So it's just when you can think of that as much as you want, but you can see his overthrows. You can see his inept attitude when it comes to like leadership. So we'll see what it comes down to. But Kev, you were talking about the under, and I think that was your sticking point for the under was there's no accountability.
Yeah.
A lot of people still have a job that I wouldn't be upset if kind of we cleaned house. Yeah. But the Colts have been in this weird situation for the past 7 or 8 years without a playoff win. So that's probably why I don't seem excited, Hunter. But I will get hyped during the games. That's a fact.
There we go. No, I love that.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. That's what I was going to say. I kind of think
what if you have 5?
Yeah, what if you had 4? What if you had Russ, DeVito?
By transitive property, I think you have no, I love it. I do. I'm gonna have to lean under, but it's close. And if Richardson takes a step, I think there you go. There you have it.
Thank you.
Next up, I believe, is the Houston Texans at 9.5 wins, and I'll let Hunter take the lead on that one.
Yeah, I'm a Texans guy. I like the Texans. It's a team that, it's kind of been assuming that they're going to win the division. We talked about last week. I don't know why I keep thinking that they got to the AFC Championship game. They didn't. They only got to the divisional, but they put up such a good fight against the Chiefs. So I'm a believer. I think Jaden Higgins is going to be good. I think Nico Collins is a trusted option. I think you got all kinds of players there, and I think it's a division that's still going to be pretty open. So I'm going to go over, nice and short.
Yeah, 9.5 wins is a lot. And getting to 10 means that's double digit. That's very likely a playoff appearance. The offensive line, it just seems like they have no plan whatsoever on how to address that. They got rid of their best lineman, and their line was terrible last year. So it's kind of weird and interesting. It's kind of a nebulous thing for them. Like we just don't talk about that when we talk about the Texans because Mixon's good and Nico's good. We like the rookie receivers, all that, but the line is so bad. Stroud regressed a little bit last year. I do like the defense quite a bit, and I think D'Amico's a great coach. So I do think I'll take the over. I think they'll get to 10 wins, but I think it'll be dicey, and I think they're not going to win any playoff games until they seriously divert a lot of assets to the line.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they made a lot of questionable decisions during the offseason that we probably don't fully know the story of why those things happen, like Tunsil getting traded, little things like that.
Yeah.
But I think if you're betting anybody, any team in this division, you're absolutely insane. But I'm gonna. I mean, I think the Jaguars are a team that I don't even know what the over under is, so I'm excited to find out. But I'm gonna go light over on the Texans. I'll go 10 wins because I do think they're a good team.
Well, good thing you're curious about the Jaguars because we're about to talk about them. It's 7.5. And I think, given how I feel about the Jaguars, I think it's an interesting number because Brian Thomas Jr. has proven to be one of the best players, best wide receivers in the NFL. They have the former Prince who was promised. I don't know what the deal is with Trevor Lawrence at this point, honestly. Like, is he a good quarterback? Is he a good player? I don't freaking know. We keep waiting for that ascension. I remember he's been a trendy MVP pick every year for the last 5 years. I'm running out of patience. I'm sure their fans are. Clearly, their front office had no choice but to shell out the bag, but I don't know how worth it he's been. I love that they got Travis Hunter. He's the joker for the team. I kind of think that is an interesting situation, and I'm kind of passively in on them for that reason. I kind of think like they'll be an exciting team to watch. I think they have a good shot to win 8 games, which is all they have to do to clear this over. I'm going to be kind of gross with it, and I'm going to take the over on 7.5, but partly because the division sucks and partly because every bit of Travis Hunter stock I can have, I want. So I think I'll take the over on 7.5 wins.
Duval.
Yeah, exactly. Liam Cohen is kind of a key part of the discussion too. Jimmy, what do you got for me?
Yeah, my Duval meant over.
That's what you meant.
I think this could be potentially a fun team this year. I think this could be little team that bounces up from where they were last year. I don't think they can get much worse than last year, I guess. So I'll go over. I think they'll be fun. I think that just means it'll be a 3-team race towards the end of the season. I don't think it'll be fun to watch.
You'll be stressed.
Yeah, for sure. But I'll go over for the Jaguars.
All right, Hannibal.
Man, I didn't expect to be so divided on this Jags one. I saw 7.5 and thought the Jaguars 8 wins, no way. But like, they are still in a weak division. It's right. The argument's there. I fear that nerds like us are juicing this line just because Travis Hunter, just because Brian Thomas,
Probably.
like they're exciting pieces. You
want
the Jags to be good. It's just 8 wins next to Jacksonville Jaguars is something I just can't wrap my head around. I feel like it's over. I feel like it's under. It's giving me a headache. Honestly, we've talked about every division. The last team I want to talk about right now is the Jags, but We'll go under.
Yeah,
very close under.
When you think about that nausea, you just can't do it. You just can't press over. Last but not least,
candy.
Yeah. Last but not least, it's a pretty straightforward one, and it's one that I'm excited to talk about because I'm a big fan of their first overall pick. The last team we're going to talk about is the Tennessee Titans, 5.5 wins. Also, huge roster overhaul this offseason. Hunter, why don't you tell us your take on the Titans?
Yeah, my take on the Titans is good, but not 6 wins good. I think Cam Ward was a helpful addition, but I saw a tweet the other day, and I want to know what you guys think of this. Is he the least talked about number 1 overall pick in the last 10 years? You know, no one has a stance on Cam Ward. I don't think anybody's super thrilled to talk about the Titans. I think the most interesting part about the Titans, honestly, is the new stadium they're building. It's like a rectangle. It looks like a mall. It's so crazy. The new stadium they're building in Nashville is nuts. But this is not a team that I want to really be excited about, a team that I think is going to win a lot of games. I think this is going to be a big reset year, kind of akin to the Patriots of last year. So I think they're going to go under. You could talk yourself into the over with Cam Ward, but I don't think there's enough there. And it's really fun to challenge the people Just ask them, name a Titans wide receiver. And some people will say Calvin Ridley, and then there will be some hemming and hawing. Like, it took me a while to remember that Calvin Ridley was on the team. So I think the Titans are an exciting team. I'm going under. What about you, Jimmy?
I'm going under as well. I think what you said about the Jags having 8 wins next to the name, I feel that way about the Titans. At least
6.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll go under. I think Cam Ward could have a good season. I still think this could be an easy under just in terms of their roster as a whole. But I'm not. I picked the over for all the other 3 teams. I'm not excited about the Titans. I'll go under.
Yeah, I think you guys have convinced me. I kind of came into this
Let's
hoping
go.
that I could take the over, like, because it's 6, right? Like 6 and 11, I
Yeah.
could see that. But that's like, given that like Ward's got to be like a stud, he's got to be like an offensive rookie of the year candidate. I think he will be. I just think, yeah, you're right, Hunter. I think I completely agree with you. He won't be a 6-win stud. Like, I think he'll put up the flashes, he'll make the mistakes, he'll have those probably head scratching, not quite as bad as Will Levis, but those really head scratchingly horrible plays. But he's Cam Ward, man. He's got so much juice. I loved watching him in Miami last year. I think the Titans are. This is kind of like their take your medicine year. Every team, when they draft a quarterback, that first year where they start every game, you kind of have to just let the rookie play through their lumps. I think under is extremely safe. I think we went a whole day without one single bet Kev's rent, which I'm a little surprised by. I thought for sure we would get disgustingly confident about something. If you guys had a lock, let's make this the end of the pod because we're running long.
Ooh.
If you guys had a lock on any of the AFC win total over unders that we picked today, what would you make it and why?
Ooh, Jimmy, you want to go first? Real quick, while Jimmy thinks this one through, I just want to throw this up on the Titans while Jimmy thinks. I don't know if you guys heard or not, but Will Levis is out for the season. So if Cam Ward goes down, that's it. That's
Hey,
it.
what do you mean that's it, man? Brandon Allen's there, man. He's great.
Brandon Allen. Yeah, there you go. I just think it's hilarious that Will Levis waited this long until he got shoulder surgery. Like, I think someone tweeted it out, but it's like he waited until July to get the operation. So now he's out for the season. It's just a very Will Levis moment. And I love talking about him.
Yeah, Will Levis is kind of one of the most awesome meme players in the NFL. So that's 3 unders on the Titans. And Jimmy, who's your AFC win total lock?
I could go like one of the really, really good teams, but I'm not going to. I'll go Chargers over.
Okay.
And
I
think they'll be pretty good this year.
Who's yours?
As hype beast as it's going to sound, I'm riding with the Pats, especially if you can find it at 7.5, which I think some books will have.
Wow. Okay. And I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go kind of a little counterclockwise to Hunter here. I'm gonna go with the Jets. I think they're gonna get to 6 wins. 5.5 is crazy low for them. That's crazy low for them. They're gonna get to 6 wins.
Low for the Jets.
I know.
Crazy low. It's low, but crazy.
I do have to do this before we go. It's in my contract. And for those of you who missed it, that's shout out to Adrian, our graphics department, and our scab producer. Ladies and gentlemen, we did it.
Kevin will be homeless next week.
We talked about the excitement of training camp. We talked about our favorite training camp all-time story. We talked about every single AFC team's win, loss, over, under. Jimmy Ray, anything you want to say to the good people as the football weather starts setting in?
Dude, I love it. I'm so ready. College football 26 is getting me through.
Nice.
To the NFL season. Oh, Hunter didn't like that.
I've been playing it a bunch. That game makes me so mad. But I hear you.
He hate plays it. He said last time.
I hate play it.
I love play it, so I'm not worried about it.
And Hunter, anything you want to say to the good people before we sign off?
No, man. Everybody out there, stay safe. Stay cool, and let's ride it out. Let's all make it to September. Yeah, let's get to this football season.
We made it this far, guys, and I'll just end it with, please keep your wits about you during training camp. Don't get fake accounted. Don't fall for the wide receiver 9 on your favorite team that they're actually a secret star. Just keep your wits about you. That's all I'll say.
Are you talking to yourself?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
I think I need it. That's all we're gonna have for you today on the Legit Football NFL podcast. I'm Kevin Phillip Fox. He's Jimmy Ray of NFL Stats. He's Hunnaball, and we are out.